Hi everyone, it's me again, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC, the creators of AthleticSOS. It is a software program. I'm going to start putting the QR code up here so that you can see what AthleticSOS is when I do these videos, but I always put it down in the description also so that you can get the code. You get the instructions for how to use the code, and you can use our software at absolutely no cost. And it is for high school athletes that are trying to get athletic scholarships. Now, we do have a version now that's going pretty good for us for high school programs that have, majority of the kids aren't going to play at the next level, but you can still use our software because we also give them, we let them find 2-year schools, 4-year schools, and even trade schools. So our goal is that if we can get to some of these high schools, that what you guys can do is every single athlete in your program can use our software and put together a plan for their future. What are they going to do next once they leave out of those gates? Because when they turn around, they can't come back in. And I don't think a lot of kids realize that. So our software works across the board. Everybody's excited about it. We got a bunch of schools that are signing up. We got people calling us about it. And it's kind of going word of mouth, but you guys just know it's available to you. If you want to, you can contact me at info@athleticsos.com, and I'll get back to you guys. And we're setting up for a lot of different types of situations. The only thing I ask is that you're a legitimate high school, and then we do have our API working now. So if you want to use it in your business, you do something with youth sports and you want to use it, and then we can, I don't want to do a lot of these, but we can do a white label version of the software. Also, we're doing that at the same time. So we got a lot of stuff going on with the software. But of course, you guys know this is kind of my favorite time of the week now. When I initially started this, I was a little hesitant. And so what we want to talk about today is, what if you're not good enough? So I get this every now and then, and it's funny because I kind of went through this with my daughter a little bit. She would make all league and everything for her team and everything, and she would get on these all-star teams. And then she would go on these all-star teams, and my daughter just played the game the right way. She played basketball. And so she was a point guard, and she just played the game the right way. If somebody's open, she passed the ball. If she needs to get somebody open, she'll do things. She just played. But everybody in all-star games supposed to be about showing off. And so one of the misconceptions that I think a lot of adults don't give down to young people, and then a lot of adults don't pick up on this either. You don't normally see the best. When you're watching any sporting event anywhere, you're not seeing the best of the best. 90% of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, you're not seeing the best of the best. If you watch any team sport, I don't even care if it's the pro level. When you watch an all-star game, you're not watching the best of the best. In fact, most of the, so if you're watching a game, the other teams that are in that league or in that conference or in that whatever, they have some better players than the players that are playing on the field or on the court or in the arena than the ones that you're watching at that time. If you're watching an Olympic competition, you're not watching the best in the world. If you've ever seen the pre-trials to qualify to go to the Olympics, you'll see some of the best of the best. They just didn't have a good day. They get knocked out, and then the Olympics come in. It's all the ceremony. People that never watched before, they think they're watching the best of the best. If you're watching the Olympics and it's it's all the countries that are participating, one country could have had another 10, 20, 15 people, 15, 20 people on that team if it was the best of the best. So it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in sports. It doesn't work that way in business. It doesn't work that way in life. There is the best don't get there all the time. And so I talk about this all the time. What we're trying to do is get you in position to be in the game, in the mix. And so that's all we're trying to do. And here's the other thing I want you guys to remember. Every single season in college sports, because we're trying to get you from high school to college. That's what our software does right now. But we're also trying to get you from 5-year-old and continue using your athletic ability all your life to give you advantages and let you leverage that to have a really successful life. And that's where we want to be. There are empty chairs in college every single year. There are people that are on that bench that aren't as good as you are right now. And I don't care what level it is, there's somebody that probably is not as good as a ton of people, hundreds of thousands of people that could have had that spot, but they didn't position themselves to get that spot. And sometimes you're just not aware of all of the opportunities that are out there, and that's what our software does for you. But sometimes you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And sometimes that path to get there is a little bit crooked. We're working with some kids from junior college now that are trying to see it, so we're going to tweak and make a version for them. But I guess my big turnaround is what I'm trying to do here when I come out here and I sit here and I'm just talking to you guys. I'm trying to get you ready for a successful life. I want you to be successful in sports. I want you to go as far as you want to go, but I want you to have a successful, and that comes with happiness. And it's funny because when I talk about success, even when I'm talking to my family, and you can imagine how I am around my family, especially with the younger kids and stuff, I know their eyes probably roll when I walk in the room, like, what are you guys up to? What are you trying to do? How come you didn't do this? Last time we talked about this. What's going on with that? I push, and I push because what most people want, everybody always talks about people want different things in life and all that kind of stuff. But I think what people want more than anything is it's universal, is an opportunity. And they always, that's what they complain about. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of people talk about wanting an opportunity, but if you gave it to them or if they saw it, they'd find a reason not to go take that opportunity. I don't want our group to be doing that. Anybody's going to be part of our Athletic SOS family. In fact, even if you don't want the software, go ahead and sign up because I'm going to be sending some stuff out. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've accumulated now that I want to introduce to you guys moving forward. We're just trying to get another website set up to be a sister website to Athletic SOS, and I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff. So let's go to this as you as an athlete. What do you need to do? You're not getting an opportunity. Maybe you're younger and you're not making that travel club team, or you're not getting the training that you think you should get, or you're not invited on such and such team, or you're not getting enough playing time, or you're in high school and you're frost soft and you can't get to varsity. You get to JV, but you can't get over. Are those kids better than you? Are you just not good enough? I say no. And here's our new secret. Here's the secret for this week. And we've been doing this a lot. I'm actually putting together a little booklet, book for, it's supposed to be for my grandkids, but I'm going to try to put it together and make it really organized and put it out at some point. So here's one for you guys. I want you guys to remember this no matter what you guys are doing as you move through life. In order to be successful, if you want to be successful at something that you're not quite sure you're there, what do you see that everyone else doesn't see? If you can figure that part out, you can be successful in anything in the world. Look around, whatever your industry is you're in, whatever sports you're playing. If you're not getting an opportunity, look at it, step back, take a look. There's something that's there. You're trying to fill a spot. You're trying to solve a problem for that coach, for that team, or for that community, or for the business. If you're interviewing for something, do a little homework. Go pay attention. Go to, what are they looking for? What can you do that somebody else is not paying attention to? What is the whole? What is the what can you come in and make a difference of? Because that's really what it's all about. It's funny. When I was working for the government, everybody thinks government jobs are sort of merit-based, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But it is not. When you go in there, you take your interviews, they do the best they can in civil service world. But when you get to that final interview, the person who's actually going to hire for the position after you've gone through 1, 2, maybe 3 prior interviews, it could be somebody they just want. That it's in their group already, and you've gone through all of this stuff and you don't get it. It could be someone that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. They're still going to get it. Now, everybody goes through the motions, but every now and then you can break through. And I know because I've done this. I've gone to interviews where that job was for someone else and I got it. But what I did before that, I did some homework about the department, about the section, about the division. What are they trying to do? Where did I come from before? What can I bring to this that's different? And what did I see that everyone else didn't see? What are people looking for? They're looking for solutions. Can you bring them the solution? So you're not selling yourself. Everybody always says you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself as a solution, that you can bring a solution for that group, organization, and in this case for you guys, for that team. What am I bringing to you? Just do a little bit of homework. Go to a few games. If you're in junior high, you should be going to all the high school games, and you should go to other high school games. Is there a trainer in the area that can train you for what you need to be? Now, here's the other thing. A lot of times, people pick the wrong sport younger, and I'm going to put a stop to that too, because I'm going to make sure you guys have 2 sports minimum. One that you love, that you just want to do. Maybe your parent knows it really well, but it's not your sport. It's not the sport that's going to get you to play at the collegiate level. But number 2 is the sport that can get you there, that you actually were made for. You just didn't know anything about it, but they offer athletic scholarship opportunities. That's one of the things we want to do. I want to go from 5 years old to 17 years old. I know exactly what that looks like, and that's something I'm going to be putting together as we move forward. But now you're there, you're in high school now, you don't have time to start over again. And you maybe, like I said earlier, you got to the JV, but you can't get over the hump. You're not making the varsity team for whatever reason. So we got some moves to make here, right? So here's some of the steps that I would take if I'm trying to get somewhere and it looks like maybe I'm not quite good enough, because they seem way better than me. Sometimes I get a chance to go play with them, or I go watch the games. Everything seems like they're moving really fast. Or you're doing an individual sport like archery or something like that, and these people are just super accurate. They never miss. I'm good, but I'm not that kind of good. You got to do one or two things. You got to go, if it's a sport that is a physical sport, you got to go play with people at that level. And if you can, like your high school level, but if you can, go play above that, because there's some place somewhere somebody's working out, or they're playing, or they're working together at the semi-pro level. Can you get to that level? Can you find out where the college kids are playing? Can you find out where the professionals go and work out? Can you get trained by the people who are training them? And don't forget, those people are already good, they're physically good, but what you want to do is be in a world where you're mixing in with them, because your speed, you will catch up. Now, you will be bad first, right? So, but you will start to catch up. And then when you go back to the kids your size, your age, in your world, you'll be much faster. You'll see things much faster. Everything will go boom, 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 because you're played at a higher level. It's overspeed training almost is what it is, but it's more than that. It's understanding the game. It's being in the right place. It's recognizing things that before they even happen, that you're so far ahead of everybody, and it will show up in that world. Now, how do you get to a trainer? Sometimes there's trainers that don't deal with kids at a certain place, or they cost a lot of money because they're highly sought out. So what do you do there? You go there, you get online, you say, hey, is there a way to do a half an hour instead of an hour? Maybe I can just come for 20 minutes. What would that cost? Can I clean up afterwards? Maybe I can help you guys straighten out some stuff before and after and get everything ready and just join in. Maybe I can get a group of kids to come in and we can do a small group training, and then we can divide that amount of money. What can I do to get in front of you to work with you? Here's the other thing. If you're on a travel club team, or you're being trained by somebody, or you're in a league somewhere and they are training you in a spot where you're not making any progress, you got to go somewhere else. You got to go somewhere else. Do not, parents, this is especially for you, do not get caught up in the world just because you started somewhere. You're going to stay there, and you can see the kids that are going to be in front of your kid all the way. Just because you get along with the other moms or dads and they let you be an assistant coach, and the coach is patting you on the back and telling you, hey, we really appreciate you and all that. This is your kid. You may have to move them somewhere. If you're in a place where there's not a lot of that going on where you are, you're going to have to get up in the summer someplace. You may have to drive 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. You may have to stay over the weekend. I don't know what you have to do, but you got to get your kids somewhere where they can be the best. They're going against better players. They're getting better training. They're getting the opportunity. That's what you're there for. That's why you're a parent. That is your job. You're not doing your kid a favor. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And so these are all the things we want to get across to people. And here's the other thing about this, and this is why I always emphasize this as we're talking. You want to be where your kid is meeting other people that are great people that they can connect with, because the world is much more connected than it was before, and they're trying to find a bunch of great people. Everywhere you go, every experience that you have, your kid is going to get an opportunity. Don't get isolated out there anywhere. Go and let your kid interact with all the other kids. Let them find 1 or 2 people there that were pretty cool, that they connect with, and then those are going to be their asset. I call them assets. I know it's bad because it's people, but I want them to collect a group of these people that they really, really connect with, and that as they move forward in life, these people are people, these are pieces of the puzzle. These kids will come together later on and be successful. Another parent will be able to enlighten you guys on something else that's going on, another opportunity. These things open up when you open up. When you go outside of your little sphere of people, the whole world opens up. You have to do it. And this is coming from somebody that doesn't do a lot of that. Now, I will take chances in my job and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have problems with that. But I'm a very isolated person in a lot of ways. But I did marry someone who isn't, which helps me out a lot. But since I've started doing this and doing the business stuff, and I'm finding the same thing in business, I've got tons of ideas. I've got a lot of things that I want to do, and I am reaching all of these different thresholds. And I can tell you without a doubt how many people told me, well, this won't work, that won't work, these people won't do this, they won't do that. Even this thing with this YouTube channel, I'm supposed to do it every day and all that. We're growing like gangbusters. I see people using the code that I give you guys all the time. and we're growing even fast there. And word is getting out. I'm getting people that are calling me, that are writing me, that are emailing me about, hey, I heard what you were saying. I'm interested in exactly what does it do. And so we're getting a lot of things happening going our way. And this is the same thing can happen to you as a kid. You want to make that team. You got to see something that no one else sees. Go sit down. What are they missing? Do they need a defensive presence? Do they need somebody that's going to settle the team down? Do they need somebody that is quick? Do they need somebody that can play the long game? Do they need somebody that can cover for this? Do they need a left-hander? Do they need a right-hander? What do they need that you can fill that hole? And then I think the final piece of this is, I think almost on any sport, there's some way you can play, and this is something I can't fix for you. You got to find out there's some way that you can play. I always like to do the archery one because I met a kid that didn't do everybody else is lining up a certain way when they were shooting, and theirs was slightly tilted. Their foot placement was completely different, but they were really good at what they did. And I kept on saying, I go, that kid found what it took for them to do this sport. By somebody saw it, I don't know who they came from, or maybe they just did it on their own. But you got to find something that you can do in that sport. Maybe you're not the fastest, maybe you can't jump the highest, maybe you can't, you're not the strongest, maybe you don't have the right size for this sport, for that position that you're playing. What is it you can do that can allow you to be effective with your skill set, with what you have to work with? If you can figure that out, you can get to play also. And so the final piece of this thing is there's always an opening for you. You just have to know all of your options. You have to know all of your opportunities. AthleticSOS gives you that. You put your information in, your academic information in, the sports you play, the level you think you can participate, and there is a spot for you. I promise you there's a spot for you. But you got to want it. You got to dig it out a little bit. You got to go and find out what they all are, investigate them. Is it the place you want to be? Because do not go and play something or do something if you don't want to be there. That's 4 years of your life. Don't spend 4 years of your life in misery just because you wanted to play a sport. There's some place where you belong, where you fit, that you will be happy. Let's find that place. And it's not that hard to do. Software doesn't cost you a dime. So anyway, guys, go ahead and use it. Again, I know I keep saying this week after week. A lot of things kind of fell through here, but I am putting them back together again. And then I'll let you guys know before the end of October. I'll let you guys know some of the stuff that we're trying to put together. And I should have some other stuff to reveal to you guys as we move forward through the year. We're having a great year this year. And next year is going to be even better. I've already got stuff planned for that point in time. You guys always move forward in your life. Best of luck to you in all your endeavors. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.